Namaskar. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Exploring Truth. I'm Sri Lankan. Today's speech is on the nature of India's relationship with the neighboring countries in South Asia. In other sense, it can be told that the nature of a relationship is a kind of management on the part of India, management of relationship with the neighbors in South Asia. China is also India's neighbor, but China is lying there across the Himalayas. Not that in day-to-day activities, China has been very much involved, but China's presence is here in South Asia as China has increased, extended, and expanded its sphere of influence. In South Asia, we find India is surrounded by countries like Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Maldives, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Bhutan, and Nepal. In such a condition, we find of these countries, 3 countries are Islamic countries, that is Pakistan, the Islamic State of Bangladesh, and also Maldives. Of these countries, 3 more or less are Buddhist countries: Sri Lanka, Myanmar, and Bhutan. Only one country having Hindu majority, that is Nepal. So, in consideration of racial and religious composition of the people in those countries, the neighboring countries of India, it can be told that as India got divided in 1947 and through some sort of challenge and confrontation, Pakistan was created, and the offshoot of Pakistan is in fact Bangladesh, the creation of Bangladesh. Now, in this case, along with Maldives, these 3 Islamic states, they have one kind of opinion. You can say Maldives is different. Maldives is dependent on India. That's why it is not emphasizing on its religious existence or identity. Still, in that case, having helped so much throughout, India could not win the mind of Maldives, and that was really demonstrated by President Maiju in his activities declaration. India out wanted to set up very cozy and close relationship with China. But as Maldives is not a powerful country, having no such resources that China can exploit, it has only strategic importance, and that also can be challenged anytime by India from any position, given to the fact that if India rises up in defense technology, defense productions, and unity of the country, holding things together in case of specifically foreign policy. Anyway, China did not replace India from Maldives because it was not that eager and that much ready to do it. So President Maiju, the Maldives, the population of Maldives, majority Muslims, but they cannot pull together with Pakistan, because if they pull together with Pakistan, Maldives simply will dry up. Take the case of Bangladesh. It was rather created by Bangladesh in 1971. Without the interference of India, Bangladesh could never become independent. Having all these things event in mind, Bangladesh has become anti-Indian. Created by India, by a big war with Pakistan, India did everything, India helped, but soon after the attainment of independence, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, one who was really a Muslim League cadre, afterwards created or gave a new name to Muslim League in Bangladesh, that is Awami League, was not in favor of the Hindus by any means. He was not in favor of India. It is fact. That's why soon after the attainment of independence, India fought the war. India lost many soldiers. And even after that, he simply demanded the withdrawal of Indian forces from Bangladesh. Of course, for that he got the punishment. Why? Had the Indian soldiers been there in Bangladesh, he would not have been killed the way he was. So he thought he would make a very much sovereign Bangladesh, and Indian soldiers should live, get administrator, then he killed. He in fact did not judge the anti-Mujib factors in Bangladesh, Jamat-i-Islami and others. Anyway, whatever it is, Bangladesh has never been friendly with India. People say Awami League is friendly, and this Sheikh Hashina was friendly. But in fact, Sheikh Hashina was not friendly. Khaleda Zia of BNP, of course, against India. Non-enemy. Jamat-i-Islami, very much against India. Non-enemy. But this Sheikh Hashina, in the guise of a friend of India, did things all against India. How? First, to come to the point. Khaleda Zia did not set up that much deep a relationship with China, but this Sheikh Hashina did. She signed military pacts for the purchase of armaments from China. Chinese interference inside Bangladesh increased during her 15 years regime. China was given so many contracts to invest, to do works, to make bridges, including the Padma Setu. Though they claim they provided money, Japan provided money. Whatever it is, Chinese engineers, experts made the bridge. In other case, we see that this Sheikh Hashina, she wanted to strengthen the army of Bangladesh. She did it. Air Force, having bought so many aircrafts from China, as her fund could provide for the time being. On the other, she bought 2 submarines from China. Before that, Bangladesh had no submarine fleet. She wanted to make a submarine fleet, and for that reason, she bought 2 submarines from China. And for that purchase, Chinese entry in the seaports of Bangladesh became a granted fact. For what? For the repair and maintenance of the submarines. So, in such a situation, we find China as became closer to Bangladesh. Gradually, the relationship between Bangladesh and India basically became weaker than ever before. Then come to Myanmar. It's a Buddhist country, but ridden with problems. There are so many racial groups, ethno-racial groups in Myanmar, previous name Burma. And there has not been that much unity among them. So a strong government with democratization and decentralization could keep the country together. It failed in that aspect. On the other, it has got a big problem, what? Challenged by the Muslims. What's the Rohingya issue? Rohingyas, nothing. Rohingyas are not Myanmaris or Burmese. See the physiognomy. See the differences in physical and facial appearance of the Rohingyas. Black, on the other, brown people. Whereas the Myanmaris, they are Mongoloid people. Different. These Rohingyas originally, for a long period in the past, entered Myanmar. Now their design was to make Myanmar an Islamic country. That was detected. Myanmar took action. Rohingyas had to flee. Who is responsible for this? That is, pan-Islamism was working. And these poor Rohingyas were being used as pawns. Now this issue has caused, in fact, some sort of disadvantage for Myanmar, for its future. On the other, ethno-racial international fight is going on, and India is trying to maintain relationship with all the factions. Of course, with the government is very much explicit, but a military government cannot serve the purpose of the democracy-loving people of Myanmar. So it's very difficult. So India's relationship with Maldives, it has been more or less difficult. India's relationship with Bangladesh, it has been difficult. India's relationship with Myanmar, it has been very much a sketchy one, very difficult. With Pakistan, the relation is known to everyone else what it is, how it is being run, how India is being blamed nearly every day by the tourists coming across the border between India and Pakistan. So it is that started right from the year 1947 as they occupied nearly 1/3 of Kashmir. And because of the weakness of Jawaharlal Nehru, this 1/3 of Kashmir, that is called Po, could not be covered. So it has become a very dangerous issue. Why Nehru failed? Nehru internationalized it. He nearly was not ready to fight against Pakistan in order to reoccupy or bring back that area POK, he sent a letter to United Nations Organization. What did he state there? We have a problem between our two countries of India and Pakistan regarding Kashmir. So, if there is any problem, is it an issue, it's mutual, then the claim of Pakistan partly true. He accepted it. That's why the United Nations Organization solved the issue by putting forward the issue of plebiscite, voting. And it is not unknown to anyone else that if voting would have taken place, whether to join Pakistan or India, both would go in favor of Pakistan. Fact. Then come to Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka, a Buddhist country, suffered a lot because of LTT movement, and the war continued for a long time. Peacekeepers were sent by Rajiv Gandhi. Ultimately, he was assassinated. It's a long history. Anyway, ultimately, peace came back to Sri Lanka. But the problem is that the Sri Lankan presidents, prime ministers, in the beginning there were prime ministers, Onura Bandar Nayak, Simi Mabu Bandar Nayak, all this. At that time, relations between India and Sri Lanka was good. Now come to the next part. Since 1972, it came under presidential rule. For a long time, relationship more or less, though was very much uneven. Somehow it continued, as I told, the issue of LTT. So, as long as LTT, the case went on, and we know how these Indian peacekeepers went there and what happened to them. Anyway, ultimately, this LTT problem was solved with the death of Prabhakaran or Prabhakaran. After that, what? Sri Lanka became very much close to China. Chinese Belt and Road Initiative, it became a part of that, and received huge amount of loans for the creation of a very big seaport town. But that seaport town did not draw foreign ships that much. Earning was less. So what happened? China got a lease of 99 years of that seaport. To what? Whose advantage or disadvantage this arrangement went? It became a headache for India. Why? Because this seaport, now 99 years means 1 century, in the hands of China. Chinese ship easily can enter and get out of it. China can't oversee India, oversee the Pork Strait. It can control, it can do many things others. Keeping in view that it has got another port, big port in Pakistan under their control, and also another port that's not that big but also useful, that's in Myanmar. So in that case, that China has been trying to make a garland or a chain of pearls, means of its position around India in the coastal zone of the Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal, or as a whole the Indian Ocean. Now come to the case of Nepal. Nepal, majority Hindus, As long as the monarchy persisted, it was a Hindu state. When the democracy came into existence in the year 2008 perhaps, so what? It became a secular country in spite of Hindu majority. In the early 16 to 17 years, 15 governments, one after another came, could not solve any problem. Communist organizations under Prachanda fought for a long time in jungles, in the streets, in the cities. It also came to power and Prachanda became prime minister, but he maintained relationship with China and a kind of distance from India. And the last case, that O.P. Sharma Oli, this person as prime minister has been very much against India. He was being guided even by the ambassador of China in Nepal. So it's a big problem for India that whoever comes to power in Nepal gradually becomes anti-Indian. So it has happened. So now he is now out. Now he is out. A new government is sure to come. Already elections are underway. Hopeful that a pro-Indian government may come into existence. Who revolted, who ousted Oli, though he is claiming that India did it, India did not do it. Because India was neutral. But his own misdeeds stood against him, helped organize the people, the youngsters. They fought everywhere in the streets in spite of military actions. So he has lost power. Now, as India is more or less surrounded by countries very problematic in their own existence, only one country is there that has been throughout friendly with India, a peace-loving country, that is Bhutan. Bhutan, maybe one or two prime ministers, I don't name them, tried to deepen relationship with China, make some sort of distance with India. But the people of Bhutan know it very well that as the country is a Buddhist country, they have deeper cultural relationship and existential relationship, including trade, commerce and politics with India. China cannot serve their purpose. And now the people of Bhutan should see and should know more what is happening in Nepal because of their pro-Chinese policies. And I know the sagacious, wise people of Bhutan will never commit any kind of mistake. Never. Mutual collaboration in cultural field is there. India's help in the modernization of Bhutan is unforgettable. I know Bhutan very well. I like the people of Bhutan, and I hope that this relationship between India and Bhutan will continue and these go on deepening, strengthening day after day. Now, the conclusion is that India should remain ever alert, active in maintaining relationships with the neighbors. But India has been taking more burden as there was economic crisis in Sri Lanka. Bikram Ranasinghe was ousted. People were in the street. There was no petrol and diesel available, and there was no foreign reserve also that much that they could manage it. India helped Sri Lanka a lot. And having received all these, now Sri Lankans were able to set up a stable government through election. Now this Unrura, the Snaike, one who has come to power, has visited India, set up good relationship with India, signed many treaties. So at present, the relationship between Sri Lanka and India is very much stable. So two Buddhist countries, Bhutan and Sri Lanka, at present having a very stable relationship with India. On the other, Nepal, a country of Hindu majority people, wanted to be in the basket of China, but now it is out, and now if they want, they can revive, renew, and re-strengthen their relationship with India. They can do it. Regarding Bangladesh, nothing has to be told. People know it very well, and I have told only about Sheikh Hashina, the way he has been doing things. Now it is in the hands of Jamat-i-Islami. Jamat-i-Islami, students' organizations, actually are in power, and Muhammad Yunus, it's in fact a titular head of the state of this caretaker government. He has nothing to do. He has come there only to get relief from the cases which had been filed against him during the regime of Sheikh Hashina. And this man is none but a thief. He in fact exploited the women, the people, poor people of Bangladesh in the name of his Grameen Bank. He has invested huge amount of money in America. He became a friend of Bill Clinton. How? Giving money to Bill Clinton when Hillary Clinton stood for the post of the President of America, when she fought the election. So this Muhammad Yunus is an anti-Indian factor. So he has been doing all these things, known to everyone. And India has been doing more or less the right thing, pushing back to Bangladesh all the infiltrators who got settled here and there in different cities of Indian states in the south and north, and maybe thousands in West Bengal. But I don't know how the government of India will manage relationship with the government of West Bengal in ousting these people. Whether it will be possible or not, that I do not know. But whether attempt will be made or not, who knows? By this time, they all have become voters. In the next election in 2026, these voters may tilt power from one side to another. So this is there. So in that case, relationship with Pakistan, relationship with Bangladesh, matter of caution all the time, watchfulness. India has to remain all the time watchful in maintaining its relationship with Pakistan and Bangladesh. Maldives will not be a big problem. Maldives has realized, has got a good lesson. They won't be move their head too much against India. So here I close. Please subscribe my channel. Thank you.